Hello, good morning, friends. How are you? So, friends, today we are once again together, and today we will have a discussion on speech, that is, direct speech and indirect speech. Friends, you are familiar with this term. So, we will have a detailed discussion on the speech because many times it happens that we are acquainted with many things, but the acquaintance is superficial. So we have to learn the things deeply. So what is a speech? What is a speech? So speech means bhashan. Speech means bhashan. And when the word bhashan is mentioned, then there are many things in our mind. For example, when we listen to the word bhashan, then we have microphone in our mind, then we have the speaker in our mind, then we have audience, then we have some topic, then we think that there is a specific occasion. So my point is that these things are associated with the term speech. Which things? Speaker, audience, microphone, a serious topic, a specific or special occasion, so some kind of formalities. So these things are associated with the term speech, that is with bhashan. But friends, bhashan or a speech means whatever is spoken is a speech. Whatever is spoken is a speech. So today we will have the discussion on how a direct speech can be transformed into an indirect speech. So speech means bhashan. And what do you understand by the term bhashan? So whatever is spoken is a speech. And when there is a speech between two persons, a speech plus speech, we can say a conversation. Conversation. So we have to learn these things in a broader way. So friends, here is a sentence. The sentence is, she said, what is your name? So then you will notice that whatever is spoken by the original speaker is put under the commas, inverted commas, under the inverted commas, and the inverted commas are also called quotation marks. So we must remember that these commas are also called quotation marks. And here the verb say is used, and it is said it is a reporting verb. It is a reporting verb. So you will find that it is a question. What is your name? It is a question. It means the speaker has asked a question, and there are only four words. Only four words. What is your name? So you can say that the original speaker A. Original speaker is A. And what he speaks is written in the quotation marks or in the inverted comma. But friends, as I have said earlier, भाषण म्हणजे जे जे आपण बोलतो ते त्याला आपण भाषण म्हणूया. या ठिकाणी मी जे बोलतो ते सुद्धा माझं भाषण असतं. आणि भाषण जे आहे ही संकल्पना तुम्ही अगोदर समजून घ्या. कारण अगदी त्या नळावर जर एखादी स्त्री एखाद्याला काहीतरी भांडली, ते सुद्धा त्याचं भांडण, त्याचं हे भाषण असतं. है ना. भाषण म्हणजे फक्त काहीतरी मुद्देसूद, काहीतरी विशेष प्रसंगी केलेलं, पूर्ण वाक्यात असलेलं यालाच भाषण म्हणायचं नाही. तर भाषणचा अर्थ आपण असा घ्यायचा की आपण जे जे काही बोलतो ते भाषण भाषणामध्ये मोडतं. तेव्हा भाषण एका शब्दाचं असेल, भाषण एका वाक्याचं असेल किंवा भाषण अनेक वाक्यांचं असेल. आणि जेव्हा एक व्यक्ती बोलते तिचं ते भाषण आणि तिला प्रत्युत्तरादाखल दुसरी व्यक्ती बोलली तिचं भाषण. भाषण अधिक भाषण बरोबर संभाषण. इज इट क्लिअर? आणि मग आपल्याला या ठिकाणी स्पीच भाषण या अर्थाने पाहिजे. मगाशी आपण पाहिलं की वी हॅव टू काइंड्स ऑफ स्पीच, डायरेक्ट स्पीच and indirect speech. So direct speech means whatever is spoken by the original speaker is a direct speech. As far as this sentence is concerned, these words can be included in a direct speech or direct speech. It is a direct speech because these words are spoken by the original speaker. These words are spoken by the original speaker, and original speaker is A. Original speaker is A. So these words are heard by the listener B. A speaks and the person B listens. Imagine the person A speaks, and what he speaks, this is given here. And the words are listened by the person B. And what does a person B do? When a person B reports these words to the person C. The person C. These words are reported by the listener to the third person. It means the first person speaks, the second person listens and also reports the first person's words to the third person, and when he reports, then he doesn't report the actual words, but there is some kind of modification. There is some kind of changes, and this changed sentence, this modified sentence, or these modified words are called indirect speech. So note the difference between the direct speech and indirect speech. Okay. So direct or direct speech means the actual words spoken by the original speaker. And the indirect speech means the modified words, the modified sentence or sentences by the listener when he reports whatever is spoken by the original speaker to the third one, and it is a reported speech, it is indirect speech, it is indirect narration. So friends, indirect speech is also called indirect narration. It is also called as reported speech. So these three things are the same thing. So you must remember that indirect speech means indirect narration, and indirect narration means reported speech. Okay, and the sentence is in direct speech. It is in direct speech, and it can be converted into indirect narration, that is into reported speech or into indirect speech. Then how can this be done? How can we transform a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech? And there are some rules, there are some regulations, because whenever the speech is changed, so there are changes in the tense of the sentence, in pronouns. Okay, so other changes are also there. So today we will have discussion on these things. So with the help of the sentence, we can have the explanation. Uh, you know that it is a WS question. It is a double question, and when the question is used, then we must see asked. Hence, instead of say, we have used asked, and then here is a comma. But now we have to delete the commas, we have to delete the quotation marks. These inverted commas are called quotation marks, and we there is no need to use of the things. So she asked, and we have to connect the this part means the part that is actual words and the reported words with the connective, and as the, it is a question, we have to use this WH as a connective. Then we know that we have four kinds of sentences. We have statement, and a statement begins with a subject and subject is followed by the verb. We have questions and questions begins with the WH word. Then we have a verb and then we have subject. So there is some kind of difference as far as the word order is concerned. And if we imagine that it is a statement, then the statement should be your name is, your name, subject is verb. So we have to think for it some time and then your name must be put here, but it changes and your name becomes his name. His name. Suppose she asks a question to a stranger, to a boy, a man, okay, and then we can say that his name, and this is becomes was because the actual question is in simple present tense. Simple present tense, and now here we have used simple past tense. The sentence here ends with a question mark. Here it ends with a full stop. Okay. Then you must remember that a reported speech, that is an indirect speech or indirect narration, ends with a full stop. Ends with a full stop. But as far as direct speech are concerned, the direct speech may end with a question mark or with a full stop or with an exclamatory mark. An exclamatory mark. But this speech, that is indirect speech, always ends with a full stop. So this is also one of the differences. Okay. Then, as far as this sentence is concerned, so it is a reported speech, and these changes are done by the listener when he reports. When he reports. Then what are the changes? What are the modifications? At first, we have asked reporting verb because it is a question. Whenever there is a question, then we must use asked, questioned. These are the reporting verbs that can be used. Then we must use connective to join the outside and inside part of the direct speech, and here the WH word functions as a connective. Then we have to change the word order. Subject must be taken in the initial position. It is taken, but at the same time there is change. Your becomes his. Your becomes his. Your is in a possessive case, is also in possessive case. Okay? And now there is change in the tense. So, and at the same time, we have deleted this comma, this inverted commas. Okay? Instead of a question mark, we have used the full stop. So these are the some of the changes we have made in forming the indirect speech. Okay, so friends, you must know that when a direct speech is in a simple present tense, it becomes a simple past tense. When a sentence in direct speech is in present perfect tense, then in indirect speech it becomes past perfect tense. When the sentence is in present continuous tense, then it becomes into past continuous tense. So only present becomes past. Simple present into simple past. Present continuous into past continuous. Present perfect into past perfect. And when the actual words are in simple past tense, then they also converted into past perfect tense. So these are the rules as far as the tenses are concerned. At the same time, when the statement, the original statement is a universal truth, then we must not change the tense of the tense of the sentence. So, with the help of some examples, we will have the things in detail. So, friends, you will find that the earth is round are the actual words, and it is a universal truth. Universal truth means the truth that is not affected by the time and the place. त्रिकाला बाधित सत्य म्हणजे अशी गोष्ट की जी कुठेही बदलत नाही किंवा कोणत्याही काळात बदलणार नाही, बदलत नाही, त्याला म्हणायचं त्रिकाला बाधित सत्य. आणि असं जेव्हा सांगितलेलं असतं तेव्हा आपण त्याचा काळ बदलायचा नाही, तर आपण असं म्हणू शकतो there is no change in the tense, no change. At the same time, we have used this reporting verb. There is no necessity of using another reporting verb. Then we only use connective that, and we only deleted the comma and inverted commas. So these are the changes. As far as this sentence is concerned, you will find that it is a statement, and the statement ends with a full stop. And here it also ends with a full stop because we have learned that a statement or a sentence in direct speech, it may end with a full stop. In the previous example, it ended with a question mark. It ended with a question mark. But its reported speech ended with a full stop. Its reported speech also ended with a full stop. So this is the things to be remembered by you. Then we learn with the help of the sentence that in this particular sentence universal truth is indicated, it is stated, so we have not changed the tense of the sentence. The tense of the sentence. So generally we changes sorry, generally we change the tense of the sentence, but in this case it is an exception. Which is exception? When universal truth is stated, then we must not use the tense of the sentence. Then the man says, the philosopher said, it is in simple past tense. The man says, it is in simple present tense. Reporting verb is in simple present tense. I am happy. I am happy. In this case also, we must not change the tense of the sentence. And the reported speech will be the man says that he is happy. He is happy. So I is turned into he in reported speech, and we know that and is are the forms, present tense forms of the verb be. They are present tense forms of the verb be. Am is are, and am is reserved for I. Is reserved for, we can say, singular subjects, and are for plural subjects. So this is the rule. So here, as we have used she as a pronoun, then we have used is instead of am, and connective that, and then the deletion of the comma and inverted commas. Then friends, so far we have some examples. The first example was, what is your name? The second example was, the earth is round. The third example is, I am happy. And with these three examples, we have learned many things. What do or what have we learned? We have learned that when we change a sentence from direct speech into reported speech, there are changes in the tense. Okay, number one. There are changes in pronouns. Number two. We delete comma and inverted commas. So this is the third thing. And the fourth thing is that we use connectives. In the very first sentence, we used the WH word. In the second sentence, we used that because it was a statement. And in this third case also, we have used that because it is also a statement. Then we also learned that when the reporting verb is in present tense, then we must not change the tenses. At the same time, we also learned with the help of this sentence that when reporting verb is past tense, but the universal truth is stated, indicated, in that case also we must not change the tense of that sentence which is spoken by the original speaker. Okay, so these things are very important when we have exercises on these items. Then, friends, So far, we have seen two kinds of sentences, that is, a question and a statement. The teacher said, "Sit down," and now you know that the actual word spoken by the teacher is, or the actual word spoken by the teacher are, "sit down." So these two words, and you know that it is an imperative sentence. So, friends, please try to understand the types of sentences. So, please have the clarity. So, it is an imperative sentence. What is an imperative sentence? When a sentence begins either with a verb or adverb please, then it is an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence is used to give command, to make a request, to suggest, to instruct. Okay, so these are the functions of an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence ends with a full stop. An imperative sentence may be positive or negative. For example, sit down is a positive imperative sentence, and if we have don't sit down, it will be a negative imperative sentence. As far as this sentence is concerned, we know that it gives some kind of order. So the reported speech will be the teacher, and the reporting verb will be commanded. The teacher commanded. Instead of said, we must use commanded, or we may use order. To order. To order means to give an order. To command means to give a command. Okay. So these are reporting verbs. These are reporting verbs. Sometimes an order is given. Sometimes a request is made. Sometimes a suggestion is given. An instruction is given. Sometimes a promise is given. Okay. Sometimes a question is asked. So there are various situations, and according to the situation and according to the tone of the sentence, we must use an appropriate reporting word, appropriate, proper reporting word, according to the sense of the sentence. Which sentence spoken by the original speaker. According to that sentence, according to the tone of the sentence, we have to use an appropriate reporting word. And here, instead of said, we must use commanded or ordered. And then there is no need to use this comma. It is not necessary to use these quotation marks or inverted commas, and the sentence must join with to and then sit down. And the reported speech will be the teacher commanded to sit down or the teacher ordered to sit down. If the command is don't sit down, then we must say the teacher commanded not to sit down, not, NOT, not to sit down. So there may be a positive imperative sentence or there may be a negative imperative sentence. According to, we must use to or not to, or not to. Here to is used as a connective. In the previous sentence we have used that, we have also used wh word what, and now we have used to. So friends, this and proper use of these reporting verbs. So you must have a list of reporting verb with you. So which are the reporting verbs that can be used? You may use said, or I can have the list on the blackboard. So please have the screenshot of the reporting verbs. You must have the list with you, or you may note down the list in your notebook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you will have a dozen of reporting verbs, and you must use them according to the situation, according to the need of the sentence. So friends, uh, as far as these reporting verbs are concerned, please learn them by heart. Please learn them by heart. Now we will have the fourth type of sentence, that is an exclamatory sentence, and we are going to see how the sentence can be written in a reported speech. An exclamation is made by a tourist. Okay. And the actual words are what a beautiful scene it is. And when the exclamation, the utterance will be reported, so there will be some kind of modification, there will be some kind of changes, and the changes will be like this. The tourist exclaimed. He said, now we have used instead of said exclaimed. त्या पर्यटकाने उद्गार काढले. या ठिकाणी उद्गार आहेत ना, उद्गार काढले एक्सक्लेम्ड. तो पर्यटक म्हणाला याच्याऐवजी ते जास्त योग्य काय आहे उद्गार काढले. द टुरिस्ट एक्सक्लेम्ड दॅट. Then, in a normal or in a word order of a statement, the sentence will be it is a beautiful scene. It is a beautiful scene. Then it must be placed here. It is into was, because we have to change the tense of the sentence. It was. Here, what is an adverb? Functions as an adverb. It means it was a very beautiful scene. It was a very beautiful scene. And we must end the reported speech with a full stop. Here it is an exclamatory mark. Here it is full stop. So the thing which you have to remember is that every reported verb or every sentence in reported speech ends with a full stop. But as far as direct speech are concerned, they may end with a full stop or with a exclamatory mark or with a question mark. But this reported speech ends with a full stop. And then there is a change in a pronoun, and at the same time there is a change in the word order. Here it is the subject, is the verb, it is at the end, but in reported speech it is taken initially, and so this is the word order. So we have to take these things, or we have to keep these things in our mind, and then it will be possible for us. So friends, as far as today's lecture is concerned, we must remember that a speech means bhashan, and it means whatever is spoken by us. So our conventional view or our conventional image of speech must be broadened, and then we have to remember all of the rules. We have to remember the reporting verbs, the change in tenses, the change in pronouns, okay, the deletion of comma, inverted commas, and if we remember all of the things, then it will be easier for us to make sentences into a reported speech. So for today, it is sufficient. So please replay the lecture and concentrate or discuss with your friends about the things, and then you will understand how those speeches can be converted from direct speech into indirect speech. So have a good day. Okay.